It's week 9 of the NFL, and we've got Breece Hall. He was terrific a week ago. Well over 100 yards and several stops in the end zone. It's the Jets and the Chargers on Monday night.
Well, we have a cold night in the Northeast. A bad evening to be without a parka, but we are set for football at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. But tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The new-look Jets ready to go on offense, and it is the veteran Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
After years of flirting with the idea, the 4-time MVP finally found his way out of Green Bay this offseason, guiding himself to the Jets. We know he's already a Hall of Fame lock, but this is a chance to add one more crowning achievement to his resume.
First play and a first throw for Rodgers. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And every defensive team, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throwing the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
On first down, right back to Hall. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone came around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Rodgers. There's a short one caught by Uzomah. But Charles, a tough task ahead for this defense, trying to slow down Aaron Rodgers. What would you be trying to do?
I would think about selective pressure, Brandon, and what I mean by that is he's going to eat you up if you blitz him too often, because he'll read that and go to the man coverage patterns. But every now and then you bring that pressure out and make him deliver the ball on time. It's when he keeps the ball, maneuvers out of the pocket, and throws deep, that's when you're in big trouble.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
And the Jets are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So the Charger offense making its way out, and at the controls is the league's 2nd leading passer a year ago. At 25 years of age, out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Mike Williams that time. That'll be 2nd down.
When you talk about this Jets defense,
they enter play ranked 8th against the run in the NFL.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
31 yards there and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
there's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Draw play, it's Eckler. And now lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. 3-3, a tight one after one on EA Sports.
Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it as we resume action. Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Hall again. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 24-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And he's got it. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a first and goal.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. They'll run with Hall. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall, his 8th rushing touchdown. And the Jets have taken the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And he returns this to the 22. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them,
That's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On second down, Eckler. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I haven't said it before. I'm certainly saying it now. No one throws a prettier deep ball than Justin Herbert. This thing's on a rope, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10 to the 27-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. They'll try the right side with Eckler. There's a nice move. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Herbert operating from the red zone. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with career touchdown number 60. And the Chargers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
And for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And how about this decision? Tie game first half, but here's an onside kick. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
The Jets taking over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense.
Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. On first down, Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Rodgers going to throw. There's a short one caught by Uzama. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. And again, it's Rodgers.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
All the way in. Touchdown, New York. Allen Lazard, his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Jets will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Zerline good with a PAT, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now it's Herbert. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed.
Another big gain or two in succession as this one goes for 32.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A give, Eckler running to the right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Now Herbert off the bootleg. This is caught. Touchdown. Keenan Allen in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Chargers have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you get a brand new ball game.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And he gets it to go, and we're all even. 17 apiece. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And how about this decision? Tie game, first half. But here's an onside kick. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Kirk Cousins, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. We'll stay in the NFC South as we head to Carolina to check on the Panthers. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home in Acrisure Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this third quarter. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half, because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
Justin Herbert looking to pass. And got his man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain of 32 that time.
When you get into the second half of the tie ball game, you start realizing that every play takes on a bigger significance, and this is pretty significant right here. This is where you start putting the pressure on that secondary, and that's a job well done there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. Taking it right down Broadway. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 98 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Herbert. Chargers. Mike Williams from 10 yards out. And the Chargers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point.
And they will take a 7-point lead now. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And in the end, it was Mike Williams who capped the drive with a touchdown reception.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Herbert now.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Herbert.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The New York set to take the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down.
Taking in left side, it's Wilson.
And he's going to be wrangled down quickly after the catch up at the 45-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got a man, that's Lazard. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
But he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2's not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
Gave a glimpse of his power, but not a whole lot of space. Down at the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Play action. Now it's Rodgers.
This one finds Wilson downfield. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A nice gain of 21 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Buying time to his left. A timeout here for an injured player, and definitely not what this defense wants to see. It's Khalil Mack who's in some discomfort. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. 2nd and goal from the 1. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
We're getting set up for what should be a great 4th quarter. This has been a hard-hitting game because both teams have punched and counterpunched equally well. And here's a good finish to this drive. A touchdown run here late in the 3rd quarter.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Herbert. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 31-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. His throw incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Back to the air. Herbert on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Up the middle with Eckler. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to throw here, Herbert. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read a receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is indeed good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And New York set to take the field. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Throwing is Rodgers. And check down complete. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
The Chargers ready to take over. They'll be hoping to work a little clock and try to add on to this slim 4th quarter lead. But whatever happens on this drive, certainly a huge fumble recovery by their defense at this juncture. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 131 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. The handoff, it's Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler from 17 yards out. And the Chargers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Yeah, they would have been happy with a 1st down, but this is even better. Once he's past the marker, it's cream cheese from there. And he bumps it to the outside, and he's just going to run away from defenders on his way toward the pylon.
And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And the Jets have got it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And
I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And they're going to speed things up here. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Caught. And the ball is knocked out and picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And the Chargers coming out on the field now. Turnover that just got him the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. 27 yards there, a 1st down. The passing game continues to be their friend, even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles. They're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Play action. It's Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And that will keep this a 15-point game. This one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
Certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Here's 1st and 10.
Now Rodgers. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
The Charger offense making their way back out there. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Eckler, they run left side.
And he's got it down to the 28.
I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for L.A.,
they climbed to 6-2 on the year as they close in on the midpoint of this 17-game schedule.
And they'll get another road date next week.
It's Week 10 of the NFL, and we've got the do-it-all back, Austin Eckler. He should be a busy man out of the backfield. It's the Chargers and the Lions, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 24.
Southern California has a new modern home for NFL football, and it is this place, wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood. Today we hit double digits, Week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the LA Chargers.
Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here,
well, down on the field, they're all thinking the same thing that they do every week, Charles. All the work, all the preparation over the past week, it all leads up to these next 4 quarters.
It's suspenseful now, Brandon, but once that ball is kicked, that thought will go out the window. From then on, it's just time to execute and fight for a win.
Here's Darius Davis on the return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
Hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment. This is 2nd and 8.
Let's go.
It's Eckler again. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, Justin Herbert. Across the formation, he's got a man, that's Allen. Now he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On the give, this is Eckler. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And his kick here is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3